All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jemmas who well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Hope this video is edifying. The brother non-stop on the block brought this out. I saw this the other day. I wanted to make a video about it, but he made a video about it anyway. But I wanted to hit from another angle. I just played the video real quick.
No, I think you misunderstood. What I was saying was that according to that data, and to be clear, it pulled from about 1 million online users who are on sites such as OkCupid and other online dating profiles. It also included in-person interviews. Based upon that data, it showed that women across the board of multiple races, they responded first to white men. White men were their primary preference, and then second was men of their own race. That's what I was saying. And yes, that is including black women. More specifically, black women had a preference for white men first, according to this online data. And then secondarily, they had a preference for black men. That's what I'm saying. Check it out. Check out the book. I referenced it, written by 2 sociologists, just published, I think about a year or 2 ago. Very interesting and very relevant.
Now, when you read the scriptures, it talks about the Israelite man having an evil eye towards his brother, and the woman having an evil eye towards her husband. But I don't really want to get into that right now because brothers already get onto the woman enough. I really want to talk about how Jake pretty much has a love affair with Esau, so he has the same kind of mental dynamic. He really looks up to the Edomites, even though he understands that Edomites are the problem in the earth. And the reason why I say that is because, recently I've been going out with, some very good brothers, and they're around my area. They're about, they're about 5 minutes from where I live, 7 minutes from where I live. And the area where I live in is extremely small. So say I work for Walmart and there's a Walmart in my area, and I've worked at a Walmart close to that Walmart, and they know I work there because of the interaction between the 2 stores. But now I work at a Walmart in another area, and the brothers say they're preaching opposite the Walmart, basically, because they preach opposite the chain that I work for. I don't work at that particular store, but I work for a chain under the same name. And the brothers saw me when I was with the brothers, and I knew he saw me, and I looked in and I could see the security guard, and I say hello to him all the time. I said hello to him today, and he saw me with the brothers out there. So, I saw me, and I knew he saw me with the brothers. And, I come in today, and I knew he wanted to say something. He was like, "What's up with you?" He said it like that, and I as soon as he said it like that, I knew he was gonna say something. So I just stopped and I said, "What's up with you?" Because he looked like he wanted to talk, and he was like, "So you're a Hebrew Israelite?" And I was like, yeah, yeah." Like, he was like, "We're not that people of the book." And from going out with the brothers, hang on, let me get this scripture before I ramble on. I don't want to talk too much, without bringing out scriptures. This is 1 Corinthians 2:12. "Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of Yahweh, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But a natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolish unto them." See, this word is foolish unto them, because he said, "I don't believe in gobbledygook." Neither can he know, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. For who have known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach. So, I was speaking to him, and I wasn't really trying to talk. I was really just trying to ask him questions to discern what I already knew what spirit is in. I'm a be honest. I look at him, and the brother's cool. We're meant to be peaceable unto all men. I've been in the truth for about 3 years. I've known him for about 3-4 years. Not knowing him like that, but I see him around and I say hello to him, whatever. So I've been peaceable unto him. So he's shocked that I'm that. But I know what exactly pretty much what kind of brother he is because I've spoken to him for a few times and I've discerned because once the Lord stops with you, you pretty much can discern people's spirit. The continents, you can judge a continents of a man. In the same way you can judge a man by the way he walks. I mean, sometimes you can look at some of these men and the way they walk, you can tell their moles. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was like, I don't believe in the gobbledygook. The Bible was made by these Babylonians. Now, if you read the scriptures, the Israelites were at war with the Babylonians, so that doesn't even make any sense. And I was like, that don't even make any sense. And he was like, well, at first he said it was the Babylonians, and he said, it was Esau. He said, the white man wrote the book, and I'm like, but they don't even live by the book, so how can they live it? And I'm like, are you trying to say it's the Israelis that come up with it? And he was like, yeah. So he's already come up with 3 sources of where the scriptures come from. So you don't even know the thing that you're talking about. You don't even understand what you're talking about, and yet you condemn it. And I already know that the Lord has put a spirit on him not to receive it, because even he said, I'm an atheist, and he was like, you know what that means? And I was like, a person that doesn't believe in a higher power. And he was like, oh well, the dictionary definition. And I'm looking at him and like, with all due respect to him, he's cool, but if I look at the man's continence, I can tell he's overweight. So you know not to believe in the Lord, or you don't believe in the Lord, but you don't believe in treadmills and eating healthy either. So I'm looking at the brother like, if you're not even smart enough to look after yourself, how are you smart enough to be able to understand higher things? You don't even understand the things on earth. Because even before I come into this truth, you know, I researched what kind of world I was looking into before the Lord opened up other avenues and aspects to me. I was looking into, the Illuminati, the banking systems. I already had a good grasp of what those things were before the Lord opened up the spirit, and bringing brothers into me. And even before I met these brothers, the Lord has pretty much had me on my own, learning certain things before he's even put me with brothers. Certain brothers, they instantly meet the brother. Every walk is different, but for me, that's how it's been. I was given milk before I was given meat. And this brother here, he doesn't even understand the milk of the world, because he said he believed in himself. And I said, okay, well, I said that must be very depressing. He was like, no, it's not. You make your own, you make your own way in life. You kind of make up your own goals, and because people say, what's the meaning of life? You make up your own meaning of life, he's saying. But you know you don't have enough wisdom to be able to even maneuver around the world. It's like me meeting a carnal man, and a man broke, and he's sitting there and that's all he has. And I'm like, well, being carnal ain't working for you, Jake. It ain't working for you. If I met the man and the man's in shape, he got a 6-pack, he got women, he got a Bugatti, I say, okay, well, being carnal is working for you. But being carnal ain't working for Jake, but still Jake want to work. And the reason why I brought that first video out is because even though Jake pretends that he knows that Esau's the problem, all Jake does is work and try to get money, which is Esau's weapon or sword. Cause that's one of his swords and one of his devices that he uses to ensnare Jake. Jake be working 80 hours a week for money that's deflationary, that loses its value year on year. So Esau has you spinning around because you look up to Esau, even though you pretend that you know that he's your enemy, but you don't really believe in that because you don't act on it. Let me get another scripture. This is second Thessalonians 1:6. Seen as a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So we believe the Lord is gonna recompense Esau for what he's done to us. This man don't believe in that. He believes, Jake is gonna get together and do what? Jake been trying to do this for years. Jake don't have no military, ain't gonna do nothing. So pretty much you're in a defeated state, but you don't have any answers. Your answers are to get money, and the money that you get belongs to Esau. So pretty much you look up to the Edomites as your God, because the money is your God. So even though, the women are in the spirit of looking up to Esau, so are the men, but the men don't want to admit it. It's a sad state that Jake is in. Even when I went out, because I went out and I fellowship with the brothers today, and every single time Jake will come up acting like he knows something, And Jake, see, even when I deal with Jake in the world, I let them talk and I listen to them. These Jakes, they're not even letting the elders talk. The elders know more than me. The elders know more than them. But they don't even want to listen. They're just talking over the elders saying, I know, I know, I know. Well, if you know, then why are you in the state that you're in? You don't have no kind of spiritual discernment to be able to come and teach brothers anything, but yet you're saying you know. If you know, then you teach, man. You teach us. You teach the elders, but you can't teach the elders nothing. And when the elders are trying to teach you, you're over talking them like you know something, even though by your behavior and your state in life, you don't know nothing. But this is the pride that's on Jake, and pride cometh, before a fall. But Jake don't understand. Jake don't read the scriptures. So he doesn't even understand that. And I was looking into the word judge. It says here, I'm not going to go into the Esau's version of it. It says a person able or qualified to give an opinion on something. And what makes men qualified? Going through things, having experience, being able to, see what the matter is about. Because when you're a judge in the world, you have to know what the case is about. You have to read about the case. You have to read about what kind of person is the defendant or the claimant or, the respondent or the applicant. You have to know what kind of people you're dealing with to make a correct judgment. You can't just go in and say this person's guilty and this person's innocent because, you're just like a 50-50 flip. You have to understand what you're dealing with. See, when you come into the truth, you have to read, you have to research. You look into who the Edomites are. You look into the scriptures. You search the scriptures daily. You speak to your big brothers, your elders. They go into the scriptures with you, so you're constantly learning, so you understand the state of the battle. But Jake don't understand nothing, but he thinks he's able to judge. But he don't have the spirit to judge because he doesn't know what's going on. Men probably don't know nothing about the banking system, nothing about these banking families, the Windsors, the Roosevelts, the Rothschild, none of that. But yet you're saying this stuff. And the funny thing is, these people that have all this money, because Jake love money, and Jake in a way he looks up to these rich people. Jake wishes he had money like these people. These people believe in the scriptures and they tremble at it, but not Jake, because Jake knows so much. You know what I mean? These people that you look up to believe in something that you don't believe in. Even these Jay-Z's, how do they get their money? What power do they pray to on the left hand side? And if there's a left hand side, there's a right hand side, because the Lord is a Lord of balance, and that's even how the world works. You have water, you have fire, you have sky, you have earth. You have up, you have down, you have left, you have right. You understand? You have man, you have woman. But Jake think it's just only one aspect of something, because Jake don't understand the nature of the battle, and he doesn't know what situation he's in. It's like being in a war and not having on a suit of armor and no sword. You're gonna die because you have no protection. And the Lord is our suit and armor. We put on the words of the Lord, and it protects us from demons trying to ask stupid questions. and you just think to yourself, all right, cool. Sometimes I don't even bother. The scriptures talk about not casting pearls before swine lest they turn around and trample you. And this is somebody out the world. This is Sun Tzu. One of his quotes is, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not... Hang on. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. And if you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So really and truly, you're supposed to know yourself first. And when the Lord puts that spirit of discernment on you, you start reading, you start understanding your own nature, which is why the scriptures talk about, examine yourself daily if you be in your faith. The scriptures are telling you to know yourself. This is the worldly version, but the scriptures are telling you to know yourself. And there's another quote by Sun Tzu. It says, to fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. And when you go into the word resistance, it says here the refusal to accept or comply with something. And what does that go into? When you refuse something, you're willfully saying no. That's your will. So the best way to win a battle is breaking an enemy's will without fighting. That's what it means. And it says the ability to not be affected by something, especially adversely. That's your will. You know, when the word comes out, it cuts Esau so bad that he's flagging brothers' pages. They're making videos talking about the most hated group in America. You know, they're having these videos of these so-called Hebrew Israelites killing all these people. If the word is not cutting them, why are they going after the Israelites? Why not go after these Hoteps? You're not saying, you know, the Hoteps are the most hated American group. The African people, the ones that want reparation, they're not a threat to Esau. They're not a threat to Esau, so Esau don't even think nothing about them. So if the powers that be that run this world are affected by the world, who really is the truth? Because you believe in yourself. And the funny thing is, when I kept asking the brother what he believes in, he was just dancing around the subject. You can't even answer a straight question. You say you believe in yourself, so how did you get here? But when you really boil it down, he probably believed in something that Esau gave him. He probably believed we come from the Big Bang and man come from an amoeba that turned into a mammal, that turned into a monkey, that turned into a Neanderthal, that then turned into man. This is all the bullcrap that Esau comes up with. So Esau is really in the same state. I mean, not Esau, but Jake is really in the same state as a woman. You cleave onto the people who are oppressing you, and then you turn around and you fight against the people who are trying to help you. In the same way that Jake was fighting against Moses in the wilderness. You know, Moses is trying to do right, and these people are just willfully trying to go against everything that Moses was trying to do. Even and the elder talked about this earlier today. He was talking about how Jake saw all the wonders that the Most High did for Israel, you know, defeating their enemies in Egypt, parting the Red Sea, and they still turned around and went off. So, you can't please Jake, man. You can't please Jake. Ecclesiasticus 5:3. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by a multitude of words. So you know a man's continence and a man's mind and his heart through his words. So if you let a man, there's a saying in the world: if you let somebody talk enough, you're gonna understand what kind of person they are. For paraphrasing. And this is the scriptural version. A fool is known by many words. You let a person talk enough, you're gonna understand what kind of spirit they're in, and to be able to discern what kind of man they are. And that includes their consonants, their gait, which is how somebody walks, and their words. You can discern what kind of spirit that they're in. This is Hebrews 4:12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So, I didn't even need to speak to him to know what kind of spirit he's in, because he was like, me and you cool, yeah? And I'm like, why ain't we been cool for 3 years? Why ain't I cool with you? He's like, well, them Hebrew Israelites, I know they even fight amongst themselves because they have different, he didn't use the word doctrines, but they have different, beliefs. And I know when you don't believe, when you're an atheist, how they think about you. But if you really understood, the walk that we're about, you understand we're supposed to be peaceable unto all men. So clearly, you can't discern what kind of man I am, but I can discern what kind of man you are. It makes Jake uncomfortable, because now Jake is looking at me thinking, oh, you think you're somebody. He's like, we're not the people of the book. See, what you want to, he said, so I said, what are we? He said, we're sub-Saharan Africans. And I'm like, well, I'm from Ghana. I know you're Jamaican, You're Jamaican and you were raised in America, but here it is, you're cleaving onto so-called Hamite culture, African culture. Because that's what Esau told you were. How are you gonna believe who you are from your enemy? That, like, what you think Esau wants the best for you? Why would he tell you the truth when the truth will set you free? When he wants you to be a slave. Yeah, man. Dealing with Jake is tiresome sometimes, man. I don't know how the brothers do it. This is 1 Corinthians 2:4. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So this word, it sounds foolish to Jake. Because he's looking at it like, well, I can't make money off the truth. I can't make money off knowing who the Most High is. But you know what? I don't wake up every day with a gun in my mouth. You believe you're here. to make your own way in life, and you can't pay your bills, or you're having problems because you want to ball out, you want to show off to the galdom, you know what I mean? And you're not really making it like that, so you're really depressed. We're prisoners of hope. I have a higher hope for myself than what you have. You wanna, you wanna be a slave in Esau's kingdom. And even King David said, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord, than whatever these people are trying to be. You're trying to get some Bugatti that needs to be looked at every month, and you gotta put oil in it, and you gotta get new tires, and the tires are $5 a tire. You know what I mean? And you drive 10 miles, and you gotta refuel it, just so you can get some chick that's been run through by 50 men with your garments. That's like $500 or $1 a piece, that are not even quality, that will be worn out by next year. All the things they're fleeting. Jake just want carnal things, carnal riches that don't really amount to anything. You know, we have a high expectation for ourselves, and this is what Jake don't like. Jake don't like the feeling that you think you're better than them. Jake really is a hater of Jake. When you see another Jake doing well, you hate that. When you're in the truth, you're not in that spirit. If I see a Jake doing well, I'm like, well, he's doing well. But really and truly, doing well is being in these scriptures. So when I see a brother in the truth, I say, wow, you know what? Good for you. Shalom. 1 Corinthians 2:11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the spirit of Yahweh knoweth no man but the spirit of Yahweh. And I'm gonna get a different version, a new international version. For who knows a person's thoughts except their own spirit within them? In the same way, no one knows the thoughts of Yahweh except the spirit of Yahweh. And the Lord, when you read Genesis, it talks about, and the elder was going into this today, he talks about how he put the spirit in Adam, separate from the other men, because the other men had the image of the Most High, but not the spirit of the Most High. So in the same way, no one, because the Lord has put that spirit in you, no one knows your spirit apart from you. But the Lord knows man's spirit. So he thinks he knows his spirit, and he can judge my spirit. But what it is I know my spirit, and I can judge his spirit, because he's saying, well, you're not gonna want to talk to me no more. He's still trying to figure out where I'm standing on something, because all this time you didn't even know what I believed in, but I knew exactly what kind of person you believed in. And we discern who these people are, because you can have a conversation with, because all it is there's the elect of Israel, there's Israel, and there's everybody else. So if you're not in Israel, you're everybody else. And even the brothers, if you're a real brother in the truth, the brothers know who you are, and you know who these brothers are. Because if a brother leaves his woman around you, you're not going to be trying to pop his woman. If a brother leaves something around you, you're not trying to take it, you're not trying to steal it. But these people of the world, you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. So we know exactly what spirit they're in. We don't trust you people, because we know you don't believe. We know you don't believe in the Most High, so you can pretty much fall for anything. When things really get bad, you have no foundation, you have no armor. So you're gonna sell me out, you're gonna sell me down the river. That's exactly what kind of person you are, irrespective of what these people believe. So I hope this video was edifying. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jemus who were well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.